Hey, welcome back. In case you are unfamiliar with it, Kickstart is a coding competition which is organized by Google pretty much all year round, and you have 4 questions of varying difficulty and you have 3 hours to solve them. If you are a top competitor at one of these competitions, it's worldwide. So if you're a top competitor at one of these competitions, you get a chance of getting an interview with Google. Yesterday it was round G, which is we have one more round left for this year, which is round H, and that will be in November. First question is usually pretty easy, and in round G the first question was about cats and dogs. So if you're given C portions of cat food and D portions of dog food, and you're given a list, an array of animals consisting of only cats and dogs. So let's consider it's like dog, cat, dog. Okay? So the question says you have to find out if you can feed all the dogs that are in the list. If you can, simply print a yes. If not, print no. Now the thing is, you can only feed the animals in the order in which they are present in the list. Like you cannot skip this dog and just straight up go to this cat, or skip this cat and go to this dog. You have to feed them in the order in which they have been given to you. And every animal consumes only 1 unit of food. So every time you feed a cat, the new amount of cat food would be C minus 1. And every time that you feed a dog, the new amount of dog food would be D minus 1. Now the thing is, the question also states that every time that you feed a dog, what happens is you increase the cat food portion by M. M will be given to you. And that is basically all the question asks for. I just took a variable called flag and changed it from 0 to 1 if the quantity of dog food diminishes to 0 and there are still dogs in line which need to be fed, or if the quantity of cat food diminishes to 0 and there are dogs after that cat which cannot be fed because the cat cannot be fed. So if the flag is equal to 1, then I say that no, it's not possible to feed all the dogs. And if the flag is 0, which it was initially, then obviously it's a yes. The second question is a little bit trickier. What you are given is that consider this xy plane. Y dash. And you are given the coordinates of all the objects that are in the room. Like you are given the bottom leftmost and the upper rightmost. Like if the coordinates you have been given of an object are 0, 0, 1, 0, that means that the object, 1, 1, my bad. So that means the object takes up this entire space. Another object, what the question asks of you is to place a water bottle anywhere in the room such that the absolute distance of the water bottle from all the objects present in the room is minimum. If you had projectile motion in physics, you would know that it's always beneficial to split a question up into 2 parts. Like the question says that you can only move parallel to the axis, like either of the axes. So let's just first consider the x-axis. You have been given a bunch of coordinates for the objects. This is 0. This is 1. This is also 1. So I'll just take it as 1 point. This is 5. The x coordinate of all the points that you have been given, of all the objects. Because you see, like we discussed earlier, that if the xy, like if b, which is xb comma yb, is the resultant coordinates of the points which we need, then of the bottle, then the distance of a certain point of this body, like from 0 comma 0, this distance would be equal to the distance of the entire body from this point. So what is a point on this line, say xb, from which the absolute distance from the points from all the other x coordinates is minimum. What you can do to find the solution is actually find the median of the coordinates separately, obviously. Like for the x coordinates you find their median, and for the y coordinates you find their median. Now since you are given 2 points, like 2 sets of coordinates for each object, so the number of x coordinates and the number of y coordinates will always be an even number. So basically, since you have to find the smallest x and y for all the coordinates, what the answer will be is, what the approach should be is to find the median, is to find the minimum of nth and n minus 1th element of all the coordinates which have been given for x and y. I was actually quite happy having figured out the first 2 questions in less than an hour, but that was before I spent over 2 hours over a question that I later realized that I completely misunderstood. Like, it was a very interesting last 5 minutes when I actually went through the explanation of the examples provided and realized that what I was doing was very much not what the question asked for. So that was fun. That was a fun experience.